What if the place you feel safest in, the place you call home, is hiding your worst nightmare? Home is supposed to be a sanctuary, a place of comfort, warmth, and security. But what if there's something in the shadows, waiting for the moment? You let your guard down? Something you can't explain, something that might change the way you look at your own four walls forever. In this video, we're diving into 3 chilling, real-life horror stories. Stories that happened inside people's homes. Places they thought they knew, but were hiding dark, terrifying secrets. These aren't stories from movies. These aren't urban legends. These are true, terrifying experiences that took place right in the comfort of their homes. So brace yourself, because by the time you finish watching this, you may never feel completely safe in your home again. It was just another quiet night for the Johnson family. The kids were in bed, and Mom and Dad were relaxing in the living room watching TV. But something felt off. At first, it was just a feeling, but then the whispers started. Soft at first, but slowly growing louder. Mom, Dad. The voices echoed through the house, coming from every corner, every room, and every dark space. They checked the house. No one was there. The kids were fast asleep and the house seemed empty. But then the whispers grew louder. It was as if someone or something was calling out to them, desperate for their attention. Then came the sounds, scratching noises coming from the walls, but there was nothing visible to explain it. As the nights went on, the whispers and scratching became more frequent, and soon they noticed something terrifying. The house was getting colder, colder than normal, as if a presence was slowly moving in. It wasn't just a haunted house, it felt like something or someone was trapped inside the walls. And then one night, they finally discovered the truth. The whispers weren't from a ghost. It was something far worse, something far older, something that had been hiding in their home long before they ever moved in. The entity revealed itself through a chilling manifestation, an ancient spirit, bound by an unfinished story. It was a guardian of secrets, a keeper of tales forgotten by time. With each whisper, it sought to share its story, a tale of love, loss, and betrayal from an era long past. The Johnsons, initially terrified, realized that this was not a malevolent force, but rather a soul seeking release. The scratching was its attempt to communicate, to etch its history onto the canvas of their lives. Determined to help, they began to research the history of their home, uncovering layers of forgotten narratives, piecing together the life of the spirit that now shared their space. Through old journals and faded photographs, they learned of a family who once lived there, whose own story had ended in tragedy and mystery. The spirit was the last remaining voice of that family, yearning for closure. The Johnsons, filled with compassion, decided to honor this ancient presence by retelling its story, bringing it to light, and finally setting it free. In doing so, the house no longer felt cold. The whispers turned to soft murmurs of gratitude, and the scratching ceased. The Johnsons had become more than just inhabitants of the house. They had become custodians of its history, ensuring that the story of the spirit would never be forgotten. They created a small memorial in the corner of the living room, adorned with the artifacts they had uncovered, fragile letters, weathered photographs, and a small, delicate locket that seemed to pulse with the warmth of memories long past. As they gathered around, sharing stories and reflections, they felt a deep connection not only to the spirit, but to the history that had shaped their home. Neighbors and friends were invited to hear the tale, and soon the story of the spirit became a cherished part of the community's heritage. The Johnsons hosted gatherings where they would recount the poignant narrative, inviting others to share in the remembrance and celebration of lives once lived. As time went on, the Johnson family found peace and joy in their home, knowing they had given a voice to the voiceless and brought comfort to a restless soul. Their lives were richer for the experience, woven together with threads of the past, present, and future. The house, once a place of whispers and shadows, now resonated with laughter and love, a testament to the enduring power of compassion and understanding. And so, the once mysterious and unsettling home became a beacon of unity and warmth. The Johnsons continued to cherish their role as storytellers and guardians, ensuring that the lessons of empathy and connection were passed down through generations. They inspired others to listen more closely to the spaces around them, to honor the stories that dwell in silence, waiting to be heard. In the years that followed, the house became known as Whispering Haven, a place where people gathered not only to hear the old stories, but also to create new ones. It was a home that celebrated life in all its forms, where past and present intertwined seamlessly, and where every visitor left with a sense of belonging and a heart full of hope. The Johnsons' journey taught them and their community that every voice matters, and sometimes it takes a little courage and kindness to bring those voices to light. In doing so, they discovered a beautiful truth, that by understanding our history and embracing the unseen, we can forge a brighter, more connected future for everyone. The Anderson family had always felt at peace in their home, until the day they started hearing strange noises coming from the attic. It started small, faint scratching, soft creaks in the floorboards above them. But soon, the noises grew louder, more frequent. At night, they could hear it clearly, the sound of something moving in the attic. One night, after hearing the noises again, Emily, the mother, decided to investigate. She grabbed a flashlight and climbed the narrow staircase to the attic. As she opened the door, she was met with an empty, dusty room. The light flickered above her as she slowly stepped inside, but then she saw it. The air was unnaturally cold, and there in the corner of the attic was a single old trunk. The scratching sounds had stopped, but a chilling presence filled the room. Emily opened the trunk, expecting to find old belongings. Instead, the trunk was completely empty. But when she turned around to leave, she saw someone, standing in the corner watching her. Terrified, she ran back downstairs, but the feeling of being watched never left her. Days went by, and the noises continued, each night getting louder. That's when they found out the horrible truth. The previous tenants had lived in the house for years, but no one had ever known that the woman who lived there had mysteriously disappeared. She had hidden away in the attic before her death, her spirit now forever trapped in that room, unable to move on. Determined to help, the Anderson family decided to uncover the mystery that bound the spirit to the attic. They delved into the history of their home, seeking answers in old records and speaking with neighbors who had known the previous tenants. Slowly, they pieced together the tragic story of a woman who had been burdened by secrets and sorrow. With this newfound understanding, Emily and her family set out to give the restless spirit the peace it so desperately needed. They held a small ceremony in the attic, lighting candles and offering prayers for the woman's release. They spoke words of kindness and forgiveness, acknowledging her presence and promising to remember her story. As they stood together, a gentle warmth filled the attic, and Emily felt a soft breeze brush past her, as if in gratitude. The oppressive coldness lifted, and for the first time in weeks, the attic felt serene. The noises ceased, replaced by a comforting silence. The Andersons knew they had done the right thing. They had not only freed a trapped soul, but had also forged a deeper connection with their home. They decided to honor the woman's memory by creating a small shrine in a peaceful corner of the attic. There, they placed fresh flowers, a candle, and a framed photo they had found of the previous tenant, ensuring she would never be forgotten. Their home became a place of healing and remembrance, a testament to the power of compassion and understanding. The Andersons found joy in sharing their story with friends and neighbors, inspiring others to listen and honor the spaces they inhabited. They learned that sometimes the uninvited guests in our lives can teach us the most profound lessons, reminding us of the beauty in acknowledging and cherishing every soul's journey. The Anderson family's experience became a tale of hope and redemption, one that resonated deeply with their community. They began hosting gatherings in their home where family and friends would come together to share stories of their own encounters. With the unseen, each meeting was a celebration of life and legacy, where people found solace and inspiration in the shared history of their surroundings. The attic, once a place of mystery and fear, transformed into a sanctuary of reflection and peace. It became a place where people could connect with the past, find comfort in the present, and build hope for the future. The Andersons' home became known as the Sanctuary, a beacon of light and love in their community. Through their journey, the Andersons learned the importance of listening to the whispers of the past, to the stories of others, and to the quiet, gentle voice within. They discovered that by embracing the unknown and extending kindness to all, they could create a space where every spirit, seen or unseen, found its place. Their story served as a reminder that everyone has a tale worth telling, and that by opening our hearts to the mysteries around us, we can forge connections that transcend time and space. In doing so, we not only honor those who came before us, but also enrich our own lives with the wisdom and experiences of the ages. Jeff had always found comfort in the quiet of his home. Working from home had its perks: no commute, no distractions. But one afternoon, as he sat in his office, he heard a strange sound coming from the basement. At first, he thought it was nothing, a pipe rattling, the house settling, but the sound persisted, a soft scurrying. Then, footsteps. He tried to ignore it. He convinced himself it was just his imagination or perhaps a rat, but something was wrong. The air in the basement felt thick. His curiosity got the better of him, and he decided to investigate. As he stepped down the stairs into the basement, he felt a chill run down his spine. The room was dark, save for a small flickering light in the corner. That's when he saw it. A shadow moving unnaturally. It wasn't the shadow of anything tangible, just a dark, shifting mass that seemed to watch him. He turned to leave, but the shadow followed, always just a few steps behind. Terrified, Jeff bolted up the stairs, but no matter where he went in the house, the shadow followed. It wasn't just a trick of the light. It wasn't a shadow at all. It was something else, something that had been living in the basement, watching, waiting for the perfect moment to reveal itself. Jeff's heart pounded as he tried to make sense of what was happening. He knew he couldn't ignore it any longer. Gathering his courage, he decided to confront the shadow. He armed himself with a flashlight and his phone, ready to record whatever he might find. As he descended the stairs once more, the basement seemed even darker than before, the air heavy with anticipation. He shone the flashlight into every corner, the beam slicing through the obscurity, but the shadow eluded him, always staying just out of reach. It moved fluidly, as if it were part of the darkness itself. Jeff called out, his voice trembling slightly. "Who are you? What do you want?" To his surprise, the shadow paused, and the room seemed to hold its breath. Slowly, the shadow began to take shape, forming into the vague outline of a person. Then, to Jeff's astonishment, it spoke in a voice that was both ancient and familiar. "I am a memory," it whispered, "a fragment of a life once lived." The shadow told Jeff of a time long past, of a person who had once called this house home. It spoke of dreams and desires unfulfilled, of moments of joy and sorrow that had woven the fabric of its existence. Jeff listened intently, feeling a connection form. Between him and the shadow, he realized that it wasn't something to fear, but rather a part of the house's history that needed acknowledgement. As the shadow shared its story, Jeff felt an overwhelming sense of empathy and resolve. He promised to honor the memory and preserve the tale for future generations. With that promise, the shadow seemed to soften, its edges blurring until it faded back into the darkness, leaving behind a sense of peace. From that day forward, Jeff made it his mission to explore the history of his home, uncovering stories and sharing them with others. The shadow became a symbol of connection and understanding, a reminder of the lives that had shaped the world he now inhabited. In embracing the shadow, Jeff found a new sense of purpose and belonging, knowing that by giving voice to the past, he was creating a brighter future for himself and his community. He turned his home into a haven of stories, much like the Johnsons had done with Whispering Haven. Jeff started hosting gatherings, inviting neighbors and friends to share and listen to the tales he unearthed. Each meeting was a celebration of history and humanity, where people found comfort and inspiration in the stories of those who had come before them. Jeff discovered that his house held countless secrets, each shadow a guardian of a forgotten tale. With each story he uncovered, he felt the shadows in his home lighten, as if they too were relieved to be remembered. The basement, once a place of fear, transformed into a cozy space lined with books and artifacts, a testament to the rich tapestry of lives that had intersected with his own. In time, the community rallied around Jeff's project, contributing their own stories and memories. Together, they wove a beautiful narrative, one that honored the past and enriched their present. Jeff's home became a beacon of unity, a place where history and humanity coexisted in harmony, reminding everyone that every life, every shadow, has a story worth telling. Through this journey, Jeff learned that understanding and compassion could bridge the gaps between the seen and unseen, and that by embracing the shadows, we find light in unexpected places. His home, once silent and solitary, now echoed with laughter, storytelling, and the warm embrace of community. A true testament to the power of listening and acknowledging the whispers of the past. These stories are just a glimpse into the horrors that can hide in the very place you feel the safest. Homes are supposed to be a sanctuary, but what if they are more than just four walls? What if there's something or someone waiting for you, hiding in the shadows, biding its time until the right moment? Think about your own home. Have you ever heard a strange noise in the middle of the night, felt a sudden chill in the air? It's a reminder. We may never truly know what lurks in the darkness of our own homes. Do you still feel safe? Or are you starting to wonder what might be waiting in the silence of your walls? Perhaps it's time to listen more closely, to pay attention to the whispers of the past that might be echoing through your halls. Our homes are filled with stories, both seen and unseen, and each creak of the floorboards or rustle of the curtains might be a voice longing to be heard. But fear not, for these tales aren't just about terror. They teach us about empathy, understanding, and the incredible power of storytelling. They remind us that within the shadows lie opportunities for connection, healing, and growth. So the next time you hear a mysterious sound or feel an inexplicable chill, consider it an invitation to explore, to uncover the layers of history that have shaped your space, and to discover the rich tapestry of lives intertwined with yours. In doing so, you might find not only the source of your uncertainties, but also a newfound appreciation for the stories that make your home truly unique. Embrace the mystery and let it guide you into a deeper understanding of your world. After all, it's through listening that we transform houses into homes and shadows into shared memories. Are you ready to uncover the hidden tales within your own home and connect with a community that values the power of storytelling? Subscribe now to join a group of curious minds and empathetic hearts, all eager to explore the mysteries that lie just beneath the surface. By subscribing, you'll gain access to exclusive stories, insights, and events that celebrate the rich tapestry of life and history. Subscribe today and be part of our storytelling journey. Exclusive content. Get early access to new stories and behind-the-scenes insights, community events. Participate in storytelling gatherings and workshops, shared discoveries. Connect with like-minded individuals who cherish the art of storytelling. Don't miss out on the chance to transform your perspective and enrich your life with the wisdom of untold stories. Click the subscribe button now and take the first step towards a more connected and meaningful experience. Your story begins here.